In this video, I'm going to show you how to use an amp simulator plugin along with recording direct with an electric guitar. And using an amp simulator plugin, we need to enable end-to-end recording, also insert the plugin in the mixer section. I'm going to show you how those things work. So first of all, I'm going to copy the input section. I've created a new track here and it's labeled guitar amp sim. So I'll just drag this over. And then to get set up, let's just see if we've got the input working. Turn the guitar up. It's still connected. So we have the guitar coming in. Now we shouldn't really hear the guitar, so let me just play. But we do hear it because we're using the input monitoring from the audio interface. So if your audio interface has a mixer app or a button or a mixer knob on the front of it, you're going to want to turn that off. So I'm going to do that right now. My interface has a button, so I turn that off. So still getting signal into the input, but I'm not hearing it because I want to hear it through this track. In order to do that, I enable end-to-end monitoring down here in the controls section. And so this works pretty much like setting up a guitar tuner in the previous video. So let's find an amp simulator plugin. And the way we do that is to go into the browser. You open that using this little icon here. And then under plugins, we can type in a few letters. I have a few different amp simulators, but for this, I'm going to use the simple virtual guitar amp from Studio Devil. And here it is. It's a VST plugin. So I just drag it from here and drop it in the first, kind of in the first spot here in the mixer. And then that opens up. And then I should be able to actually hear sound and the effect of that. See, it sounds like I'm playing through a guitar amp, and I could actually switch the kind of amp to British here, or switch it to modern. And we also have crunch, lead, things like that. Let's try crunch. That's a lot of gain. Put this back on British, turn the volume on the plugin down a little bit. All right, we'll come back and set this up more later. Now I want to show you that if you want to turn this off or bypass this plugin, then you click on the plugin over here in the mixer and down here where it says enable, just click that and that puts it on bypass. Another way to do that is to use the keyboard shortcut F. So any plugins that you have selected, F will bypass them. Now I want to just check the latency settings here. So I go back to the settings tab. And you can see on the TriCapture here, I've got my audio buffer set to 512. That's 11 milliseconds. The round trip latency might be noticeable with something like that. I typically like to have this much lower if possible. So I'm going to set it down to 64 samples, and that'll give me a little bit better feel. Now, if you don't get clean playback at a low setting like that, then you can try increasing it. If you have a really fast computer, you could probably go even faster than that. And let's just see if it's still working. Select that, hit F to turn it back on. And I'm going to go for a little bit less gain on that sound. There's also a noise gate on this one, so if I turn that up, it will mute it out while I'm talking, and then it should open it up. Just roll back my volume a little bit. And let's go for a little reverb here. Or maybe some chorus. And I could adjust this just like it was a regular amp. Take a little bass out. All right, now I've got a basic setup. I don't have to really commit to this sound because I can change it after the fact. I've got the plugin inserted and it is working. So now all I need to do is rewind and then I can record with this sound. Now if I want to do loop recording it's the same as before. I can set the in and out loop point. As long as I leave loop on, I can play through this a couple times and see if I can come up with a part that I like to add to this. I have the other lead part here muted just so that I'm not distracted by that while I'm recording with this virtual guitar amp. All right, so I did 3 takes of that. So I'm going to expand that out and show the takes. So I'm going to quickly put together a composite for this. When I'm done, I'll be back. All right, I'm back after building the composite. You can see I've taken something from every take. I can hide the takes. You can hear the composite. The point of that was to show you that once you've actually recorded the part, you can still tweak the sound. So I tweaked the sound. I was trying a lot of different kinds of sounds from the Studio Devil VGA2 virtual guitar amp plugin, and you could hear there's a wide variety of things. I could put in a completely different plugin because there's many choices for those available. If you want to bypass it and just hear the clean sound, let me just solo that. You can use F, will bypass the plugin. And that gives you a fairly weak, but that's the direct actual signal from the guitar. And then with the effect on, hit F to turn that back on. And that's just kind of what I was playing with. I would probably tweak that more, actually find a part that would fit in there, and we might do that more as we move along. So that's using a virtual guitar amp or a guitar amp simulator in Traction 5. Thanks for watching.